Incineration is a bad idea. Especially in the 21st century, our task is not to get better and better at burning things, but to stop making packages and products that have to be destroyed. As far as the emissions are concerned from an incinerator, we're concerned about toxic metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, chromium, and so on. These metals, being elements, cannot be destroyed. The best that can happen is they're captured in the fly ash and the air pollution control. Then you have the problem getting rid of the toxic ash, or the worst is that they go up into the air. The second problem is these substances made during the burning process, like dioxins and furans and other chlorinated byproducts, including the most toxic substances that we've ever made in a chemical laboratory. And to make matters worse, both the toxic metals and the dioxins and furans come out on the surface of tiny particles, very, very tiny particles called nanoparticles. And there's not one incinerator in the world that is monitoring or regulating nanoparticles from incineration. Proponents like to say that there are a lot of sources of nanoparticles, and they're right. High temperature combustion of any fuel will produce nanoparticles. The difference with trash incineration is that these are the most toxic nanoparticles that you can make from normal sources. I mean, obviously, uranium, depleted uranium weapons, when they explode in a tank, they will produce more toxic metals. But for typical local sources like power stations and so on, these are the most toxic nanoparticles, because every toxic substance that we use in commerce, including the toxic metals, including chlorinated materials like PVC, end up in incinerators and then end up on these nanoparticles. Why are these such a problem? Because they're so tiny. A, they evade even the most modern air pollution control devices, and secondly, they're so tiny, they go through the lung membrane into the bloodstream and get distributed to every tissue in the body. And there are scientists now who are finding these nanoparticles in every tissue, including the brain. It's a terrible thing to do.
Do you think to that plan for Hong Kong?
Terrible, because it's only a matter of time before you get a sea rise, and all this ash is going to end up in the sea, and it will end up in seafood, contaminating local seafood. This is just not the answer, and it's really hard to believe that anybody believes that this is a solution to what? What is waste, Martin? What is waste? Look in your trash can. It's paper, it's cardboard, it's plastic, it's metal, it's glass, it's food scraps. That doesn't demand billions of dollars building machine, sacrificing the breeding grounds of this endangered species, the porpoise, ruining the lives of the few people that live on that particular island, and also hundreds of thousands of people that live on these islands around. I mean, I've just enjoyed a swim in the sea here, but will I enjoy it once they built this monster over there? You know, there are much better ways in the 21st century to look after discarded material. Don't call it waste. It's not waste until it's wasted. We make waste by mixing. So if the politicians were not so lazy and not so corrupt, and instead focus on the real solution, it begins with separation. After separation, door-to-door collection, and then the organics should go into composting or anaerobic digestion. The recyclables, obviously recycled. China has led the world in recycling for years. After that, reuse and repair. Not only does reuse and repair make money, create jobs, stimulate small businesses, but it's a seed for community development. People like going to these things. They meet people. We need to recreate the village in the big city to fight anonymity and thereby fighting overconsumption. Overconsumption is a result of people living in small apartments watching big TV screens and being told what to buy every few minutes. After we've done that, we found in Europe that with the pay-by-bag system, and in America, the pay-by-bag system, in other words, the organics and the recyclables are taken for free, but the residual fraction, the more you make, the more you pay. And that can have a dramatic effect on reduction, as much as 15%. After that, other waste reduction initiatives. Tax plastic bags, ban plastic bags, encourage people to use refillable bottles. Plastic bottles, you know, they've been very successful here in Hong Kong with a deposit on cans, beer cans, soda cans. Why not have a deposit on plastic bottles? You don't find many cans around here. You find thousands and thousands of plastic bottles. So learn the message, put a tax on that. You know what that underlines? What we're talking about here is not big machines, it's not high tech. What we need is better organization, better education, and better industrial design. You know that the taxing works, organize it. Then after that, that was step 7. Step 8 is you need to build a separation facility in front of the existing landfills, separate the residuals, pull out more recyclables, pull out more toxic, stabilize the dirty organic fraction above ground with composting or anaerobic digestion so it doesn't produce methane underground or leachate. And in addition, study this. Get our professors and students at local universities, use this as a laboratory for sustainability. Study what we're looking at as bad industrial design. We have to say to industry, if we can't reuse it, recycle it, or compost it, you shouldn't be making it. We need better design for the 21st century. So we have the 3 R's that everybody knows: reduce, reuse, recycle, and compost. But we have to add the 4th R, and the 4th R is redesign. So step 9 is better industrial design. Step 10 is the backup landfill, which I've already described. And that solution is better for the economy, more jobs, more small businesses. It's better for our health, less toxic. It's better for our universities, more meaning. It's better for the planet, it's more sustainable. And it's better for our children because it offers them more hope. We rob our children's future when we build incinerators. And we rob our children's future because we are depleting them of resources. So it's a double whammy. We poison them, we give a poison legacy of toxics in their food, the legacy of the toxic ash, and in addition, we've depleted their resources.